There we go. Yes. Then we can all assume the position. Now, before you get all super cozy, I want to make sure you have everything close at hand. Bolster, strap, sandbags, a blanket, block, eye pillow, get it all because we don't want to be having to get up, right? We just want to sort of roll and drag ourselves. Exactly. Okay. So yes, you're gonna lie down. Oh my God. I think it's like this at the end of the week when we're older. It's like, oh yeah, I just got hit by a car. All right, lying down and yeah, let's bend those knees and just shut the eyes and just do a little moment of kind of shrugging your shoulders down away from the ears and slightly tuck your chin and then rest back on those shoulder blades and let the jawline relax, kind of relax your jaw. The teeth are slightly parted. Lips are together. And begin to relax your face, starting at the forehead, between the eyebrows, that third eye space. Consciously soften the corners of the eyes. Relax the cheek muscles. Soften the root of the tongue. And begin to take that energy down the body, relaxing the shoulders. Let yourself be heavy, dropping the weight of your body into the ground. And with this sense of letting go, turn your attention to your breathing. And feel the breath coming in. Notice the movement in the body from that inhale. Notice the pause before you exhale. And feel the letting go on the exhale, that you can let go even more on those exhales. And as you're settling into this quiet and slow moving practice, just touch in with yourself. How are you? How is this body this morning? Noticing any place that your body's already talking to you as you lie here. How's your heart space this morning? And notice where's the mind popping out into some other place, if at all. And then let's take a moment to just set intention, welcome yourself. Take a moment of gratitude, again, that you have another day ahead of you. And then let's take that nice inhale and drop your knees to the right and look left and just hang out there for a moment. Feel that stretch through the left quad. Check in and slowly roll to center and take it to the other side. And we're gonna take this really slowly just to feel like, how are the quads? How about that lower back? What about up into the neck? And inhaling center into the other side. Hanging out. And inhale center. Let's take one more super slow. Just hang out there. Feel that stretch. Reach down through the top knee. See where that sensation travels. Inhale center back to the other side. And now let's take it just a little faster, side to side. Swiveling through. Let it be a nice, easy swivel, a little check-in, a little gratitude for this body that you call you. Breathing. Yeah, there you go. Swiveling tailbone all the way through to the crown of the head. And then like, oh yeah, this is the body I live in. So if something did happen yesterday, check in. You do this all the time. Is there any slight difference that you notice? Let's take two more side to side. Side, side. And then after the next one, come back to center. Bring those knees right in. Hug them in, get that little squeeze. Tuck your chin again. And then we'll take the legs up and just feel that. Ooh, the hamstrings, right? Palms on the ground, and we're going to bend and straighten and bend and straighten. And activate your core a little bit. Just feel that core. Flick it up in the air. Get a tiny bit of heat in your quads. Next time the legs are up, go wide together, bend, and wide together, bend, and wide. Let's take that 5 more times. Wide and wide. Yeah. Nice core, strong there in your core. Last 2. And last 1. And then bend the knees. And again, just hug those knees in. A little squeeze. And then roll yourselves to the right. Let the legs come down. Take a moment, relax. Lift the right shoulder blade, scoot it over to the right. Let the face look straight up, and then take that left arm straight up, palm facing towards the right, and then reach the left arm out to the left. And look left as much as possible. Breathing. Yeah. Now, if your knees are apart, you can put a block between your knees. Yeah. If your left hand or arm is up off the floor, bring it down a little bit. Make sure that shoulder is okay. And then you are simply breathing here in the twist. Shut the eyes. Let your breath move into the twist, the lower back, the rib cage. some nice, slow, deep breaths. Letting it be what it is. Let yourself get heavier on the exhales. Heavier on the exhales. And slowly, slowly start to bring that left arm, bend it, just slide it along the floor, bring it in. Look up to the sky. Yeah, you can bring the hand towards the heart. Looking to the sky, and then slowly roll back to center and just hug the knees in again. Nice and easy, like, oh yeah, here we are. And then we are gonna let those knees drop over to the left and just take a moment, flop them over. You're gonna take a moment and then get yourself so you can scoop. Dwight, Jeff, don't take that arm out yet. Scooch your left shoulder blade over to the left. Get it underneath you a little more. And then so you get your back on the floor. So yeah, and then looking up to the sky, and then lift the right arm up to the sky, palm facing in, and then reach it out to the right and see where it goes. You bring it lower if you need it to be lower so you get it to the floor. And you really want to try to get that left shoulder blade on the floor as much as possible. And then again, you're breathing here. Maybe the left hand is holding the knees down. Maybe not. You're just checking. I'm breathing. And check how this side feels a little different than the other. The inhales are filling the ribs, filling that left lung in particular, or the right lung in particular. Opening up the space between the ribs. So this season, fall season, is connected to the lungs and the large intestines. And the lungs have the relationship of inner and outer. We inhale and then we exhale part of ourselves out into the world. We bring the world in and then we exhale part of ourselves out. Let's take just a couple more breaths here. And start to just relax the right arm, slide it down, bend the elbow, bring that hand to the heart, and look skyward. And then roll yourselves back to center. You're going to hug the knees in, nice, easy hug in. Bring your feet back to the ground. And then drop the knees right and left back to your windshield wiper. This side to side. Yeah. Couple more. And last one. And this time staying in the sort of gentle zone, roll yourselves over to the right, all the way over. And then use your arms and press up to sitting. And let's come on up. So before we go completely just floppy on the ground, we're going to sit. We're going to sit cross-legged. This is the only time we'll sit upright. Hands on those shoulders. And just take your twist here. Turning, turning, turning. Just to get that spine going, especially, any stiffness from sleeping or yesterday or other exercise or just our general creakiness. Or get that going. A little bit more. and back to center, and start to drop the arms down, and then shrug the shoulders up and back and up and back and up and back, and then roll back to front and back to front. Last one, back to front. Okay. And then again, this is like the last of our super active. We're going to hold our strap, hold the buckle, and sit nice and tall. And let's take that strap out in front of us and then lift up. And see, when you lift up, can you lift the strap towards the sky and then take it back just a little bit behind you? Yeah, so right there, counter the arching of the lower back by firming the navel towards the spine. And then we lift up and bring it forward. Yeah, so bring it down towards your knees. And then we lift up and slightly back. We're going to take 5 of these. So this is 2. And then lift up and come down towards the knees. And lifting up and slightly back. Check your shoulder. So Jeff, if this bothers your shoulder, don't go far back. Just listen to your shoulder. But you should feel a little bit through the armpits here and across the chest, up and forward. Now we're going up to 4. And up and forward. And then last one. Holding here for a little bit. So hold here, lengthen the sides of the waist, lift up through the crown of the head, reach those hands apart. Just check in where you feel this the most. And then up and forward, and let's release that. And just kind of shake those arms out. Okay. All right, friends, we are going to take our blanket. So your blanket, and we want to open this up on the wide side and then make a small roll. So this is that small roll that we lie over. Oops. So it's not a big roll, but it's a very tight roll, okay? This goes under the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. If your neck is too cranked, we put a little pillow or another blanket under the head. So right here, I'm going to bring that down right under the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And then maybe, oh yeah, oh, there it is. Maybe something under your head. If this bothers your lower back, you can bend your knees. And we're going to be here opening up that thoracic spine. So make sure it's right at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, that your neck feels like it's in a good situation here. Yeah, that's it. Check your lower back. There we go. And then once you settle in, your task is to just breathe steady, slow inhales and exhales. So you're inhaling all the way down to the bottom tips of the lungs. You're filling your lungs. Let there be a little pause. And then evenly and steadily exhale. The practice with the breath is to stay very steady as you bring the breath in. Let the pause be maybe 2 or 3 seconds. So it's in, you hold just a little tiny bit, and very steady and slow exhale. You're holding that breath out, maybe a second or 2 on either end of the inhale or the exhale. And then all the while, as you're steadily breathing, just check in with sensation. What's happening in your body? Relax the shoulders. Keep letting go and letting the weight of your body become heavier. And slowly, slowly begin to bend your knees. Just bringing your feet to the ground. Feel that shift here. And drop your knees right. Feel that little twist with the lift. And inhale, center, and take them to the other side. Yeah. And let's take that a few times, just really noticing. Go slowly and listen. Nice. Yeah, that's beautiful, everybody. Listening to your body. What's different than, we've done this many times. What's different? What do you notice? So much of our practice is truly about the noticing. And take one more time to each side. Yeah. Just grateful that you can do this. Yeah. And then we're going to roll to the right. So roll your knees over to the right. Roll your whole body over. Take a moment. Nice. And then use your hands to press up to sitting. And let's just stretch the legs out, lean back a little bit. Notice that. That's a very little lift, but under the thoracic rib cage, which is not terribly flexible. So now we're going to unroll the blanket. And now we'll fold the blanket just like we usually do. And we're going to set up for our bolster back bend. So here's where you might want your sandbags. Your block is going to come behind your head. Bolsters coming right under the shoulder blades. That blanket, and we bring the soles of the feet together, and you're going to tuck the blanket and lay over, oh yeah, lay over that bolster, take the arms wide. Now here, if you want, you can put sandbags on the upper thighs. Make sure your knee is okay. So if your knee or your groin is compromised, put a pillow or a block underneath that thigh. Okay. So last thing we want to do is do any harm. Yeah. Got the eye pillow if you have one. We're going to be here for a while. So this is where you're like, okay, I'm going to get it just right so that you can really enjoy and let go into the back bend. So make sure before you totally let go that you feel like your bolster's right in the right spot, that your neck feels in its natural curve, that there's not too much pull on the groin, that your knees are okay, your shoulders are okay. And then once you're like, okay, I've checked it all, I'm good. And then we will let go here. Yeah. So one of the practices I've returned to is reading the Yoga Sutras. And so I want to share the second Yoga Sutra. These are by Patanjali, and it breaks down really all the parts of yoga and what yoga is about and why we practice. And this one is one of the most important. The second sutra says, Yogas chitta vritti nirodha, which means the restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. And meaning the entire outside world is based on your thoughts and mental attitude. The entire world is your own projection. That is why yoga does not bother much about changing the outside world. As the mind, so the man or woman. Bondage or liberation are in your own mind. If you feel bound, you are bound. If you feel liberated, you are liberated. Things outside neither bind nor liberate you. Only your attitude toward them does. So as you're here lying over this bolster, there's a natural generating energy of soothing the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, especially with a slightly deeper breath. So let that breath be steady and slow. Find the pause. Inhale, pause, and exhale. Keep letting go into the bolster. Soften any holding. Just slowly take some last few breaths here. If there's anywhere you notice holding, relax that holding in your body. And if you're using sandbags, you can move them off to the side gently. And then we're gonna just slowly lift the knees up and wiggle your feet out and take them wide. And let's just drop the knees right and then left and feel that. It's a pretty big roll under your back, so just go as far as you can. Yeah, a couple times, noticing sensation. And just notice like, oh yeah, we are bound in a body, but we are ultimately spirit. And we're bound in this body that's changing every day and has different experiences. And when you roll to the right, roll all the way over and press up to sitting. And again, let's just stretch the legs out and lean back and just kind of wiggle that around here. Okay. So we're going to move our block and then take our bolster long ways. And we're going to take our twist. So we want to bend the knees and lift your waist, lift your chest, and turn towards that bolster and feel which way does your head, your face, which way do you want to have it for this twist? So let yourself settle into the twist, and really checking like, oh yeah, how does this usually feel and how is it now? And then relax the shoulders. Yeah, exactly. You might turn your head one way and then you're like, no, I think I'll turn it the other way. So nice listening here and settling in. Let those shoulders relax. And now breathe into the back body. And just notice what a different shape this is, how the belly is a little compressed, the front body is a little compressed, and now we have space to breathe your breath into the back. And focus on the ribs in the back kind of expanding. So just coming back to this piece of the Yoga Sutras, the essence of yoga is that if we can get a hold of the mind, if we can control the mind and bring it to a steady state, there is a clarity that comes. And so much of yoga is about that. So when your mind wanders off, bring it right back to breathing, right back to the experience of what's happening. Breathing into your back and that side rib cage. Let those shoulders get heavy. And start to take the last few breaths here. And let's come slowly up to sitting. Just take your time. Come on up. Yeah. And as you come up, again, we're just gonna open up here and maybe stretch your legs. Give a little wiggle of your body before we take the other side. And then slowly you're gonna pivot around and set up the left side. Get right up against that bolster with your thigh. And then lift and lengthen and turning to this side. And as you lay your head down, again, you're just going to check in which way can your face turn. And maybe it's different. Yeah. And relax the shoulders. And then you're breathing as deeply as you can without any forcing, just nice, steady, even breaths. Just see how fully you can fill your body with your breath and how fully you can empty your body of your breath. Relax those shoulders. Let go in the arms. Stay aware of sensation. And keep letting the breath be full and deep. And let's take the last few breaths here. And use your arms to slowly press up to sitting. Yeah. And come on out of that. And stretch out the legs and lean back and wiggle your rib cage side to side a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And then maybe wiggle the hips and the legs. That's it. Just kind of shaking that out a little bit. Are you guys good if we go over by 5 minutes? Is anybody pressed for time? Yes? Okay, good. All right, so keep your bolster just how it is. And then we're gonna lift that bolster up, bring the feet together, and then round forward. Now, you might use your blanket folded up to sit on the edge of that blanket. This is really nice to just tilt the pelvis forward a little bit. So right here, oh yeah, here we go. We are rounding the back, folding forward. That's it. Soles of the feet are together. Yeah, if you need a little extra lift, you can put a block under there. And now you guys are breathing deeply into your back body. Focus on broadening the shoulder blades. Just feel that slight broadening of your shoulder blades with your inhales. And feel how the rib cage, there's just a little bit of broadening of the ribs apart from each other, just a little tiny feel of opening the ribs up. So without straining, let your breath be deep and full in the back body, and then allow the front body to really soften and let go. So relax the belly. Relax the front of the shoulders. Soften the throat. Soften the face again. The forehead, the corners of the eyes. Let the mind rest on the breath, just feeling your breath. Keep softening the belly, any gripping there. Soften the shoulders. Stay aware of all the sensations you notice. Relax the jawline. Feel this shape of turning inward. Start to take the last few breaths here. And slowly, slowly begin to stack your vertebra and keep your head heavy and just roll up slowly. You're going to bring your head up last. You'll lean back on those hands, stretch your legs out. Yeah, then gently lift your head and maybe your face turns up and just a little wiggle here, side to side with your body. Yeah. All right. So we are gonna move into our final pose. So you guys can choose either Shavasana with the bolster and the sandbags and your blanket under your head or your legs up. So, legs up is great. Either one is great. Both are very soothing. And I think you all have your preferences, and every day they change too, preferences. So see what you need. Make sure you're going to be warm enough. And that nice, Carolyn. And then those sandbags, you can use, Carolyn, if you're going to do that, I would use one sandbag on the pubic bone and yeah, and then one on the crown of the head. Yeah, there you go. That's it. There we go. Perfect. So you guys can use your sandbags on your shoulders or the pubic bone and one draping down the crown of the head. Of course, you can just not use your sandbags. And oh, there we go. That's it. So the shoulders, you want to kind of feel like the energy is pulling the shoulders down. And then make sure your neck is in its natural curve and that the inner arms turn up and you kind of feel your shoulder blades are coming down the back. And before you completely let go, yeah, you want to make sure everything feels just right and that you are warm enough. That's it. Yeah, just kind of pulling those down. And as you settle in, we're just going to let go into the stillness, into the quiet. And if the mind wanders at all, bring it right back to breathing and sensation. Let your breath deepen here. Just letting go on the exhales. Soften the face and the shoulders. And check in. How are you doing? And remember your own intention today. Just breathe that in. And slowly, slowly start to move your sandbags. And as you do that, feel the shift of the weight, the lightness. And begin to make your way to the right side. And just let go again. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. And slowly come up to sitting, and let's just find that nice seat with the eyes shut. And check in, see how you feel. What's the impact of your practice? Let's bring our palms together at the heart, offering our practice for the benefit of all beings. And just gently bow your head towards your heart. Namaste. All right, my friends, stay in this gentle zone. Blessings. Yeah, have a great weekend.